Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. This evening's video we are going to be having a little look at the 6.9 and how things is progressing with that. We're also going to be having a look at a couple of new calves that have been born, and we'll go down there after we discuss what's happening here with the tractor. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're not already a subscriber. It costs you nothing, it's just down below the video here. And ring the little bell beside it. You get a notification every time I post a video, so just don't forget to do that. Right, so 6.9, what's happening with it? No wheels back on it yet. Run into a little bit of an issue with the rims. Now you can see they're all finished now at this stage. Only got finished yesterday. Lovely finish on them, very nice. Very happy with how they've turned out, but left them in. We weren't going to get them shot blasted initially because they weren't too bad. There was only a couple of little small rusted circles in, I think maybe only on two of the wheels was a little rusted circle. Probably started off as a stone chip, the usual thing, and went on from there. Got a little bit bigger over time, but mostly were faded. That was the biggest issue with them. So we expected that we'd be able to just maybe get that bit sanded down, rubbed down, fill it with a little bit of the filler primer, and then just more or less rub down the whole wheel just a little bit, you know, the norm, take a bit of paint off, primer them up, and then get a couple of coats down the top coat, you know, simple enough. Started rubbing them down, all pitted with rust right underneath all the paintwork. Like most manufacturers, John Deere do not put any primer on the tractor. It's electrically charged and then painted directly on top of the steel. Now it works well enough to a degree. It looks well for those first number of years, but this is what can happen. The rust then, if you have a little chip in it, especially in the damp climate that Ireland have, and probably the UK as well, a lot of the UK, this is the issue you can have. You can get a lot of rust on some of the panels and on the wheels. So anyway, sent them away to get them sandblasted, and the sandblasting took quite a while. It wasn't easy to get the paint off. So our sandblasting guy was a day or so with that. Then their painting guy wasn't able to do them straight away. Then we'd missed our slot, so it took a few days. So look, it took nearly a week longer than what it should have. But we are who we are. So wheels came back last night. We hadn't got time today to go in and get the tyres on, so we'll go in the early days of next week. Look, we don't really need the tractor anyway. Storm after storm is rolling in at the minute. It's raining again today, blowing a gale, and it's going to do a lot of rain tomorrow as well, so the tractor isn't needed. And we still have the 6.4. But anyway, found another little issue. A couple of rusted spots here on the inner mudguard. This is actually on the cab. Now I have sanded them down, but I'm not happy with how they're coming up, and we're going to see if we can get somebody with a mobile shot blaster just to give them a blast. You can see here also, this here is on the green of this is actually the mudguard here, and this here is on the cab, the black bits on the cab. So you can just see just along that area, a few spots up here as well. So we're going to clean this down a little bit better tomorrow, and then we'll see about getting it sandblasted and sorted out. Now this here is just the plastic, the outer plastic moulding. Works as like stops the muck from jumping up onto the wheels. So that's a little issue that we didn't really think it was that bad. You can't see it that well when the wheel is on, you see. So not overly impressed. Now the 6.4 a few years ago, we did have to do a little bit of touching up on this area, but it wasn't nearly as bad as this. We're putting it down to the fact that this is a 50k, probably a lot more stone chips and stuff like that happens. So that's what we're thinking it is. And then over time it's just rusted a little bit. We would be fairly good at keeping on there washed, even though you wouldn't think that at the minute, because we took the wheels off without washing it, which is now a mistake, because if it had to be washed it would have worked out a lot better. Wouldn't have been as much cleaning. But anyway, we may even take the power hose down and power hose it here and blow the water out. We'll see what way it works out tomorrow. But I will video whatever we're doing tomorrow on that front. I'll try and do a bit of videoing on that. And we'll just see how it progresses. But when we get cleaned down, we'll get some primer on underneath, maybe even a little bit of sealer as well, and then we'll put a blast then just of matte black then on the black area of the cab, and then of the John Deere green, just a bit of aerosol or something like that, just to kind of cover it. But we'll get a job done on it, because the last thing we want is any rusted rusted spots coming out on the either the mud guards or on the cab itself. The rest of the track is very good. It just seems to be in that area. But as I say, it's probably because of the 50k. It didn't have these issues on the 40k 6.4. And yeah, as I said, that's what we're putting it down to anyway. But so look, wheels will be on next week at some point. I'd say around the middle of the week. That's what we're aiming for. But yeah, that's it. That's where the 6.9 is at the moment. So for anyone who was wondering, so we're going to head down now to the calving shed, and we'll have a look. We've had a few calves born over the last number of days. We'll have a look at those. So we are down in the calving shed, and as you can see, we have got calves in all 4 of the pens. We'll start with the 3 that has been born over the last few days. This girl in the back here, she is probably one of my favourite cows. She's one of the oldest cows on the farm. She's been very good. She has a calf every single year from she arrived. She's now 12 years old, and yeah, she's had a calf every year. Always has a very nice calf. She's a lovely heifer calf born this year to the Charolais, of course, the infertile Charolais. And we do intend to keep this heifer calf, as all going well, if it makes it that far. We're going to keep her as a replacement, because you never know how many more calves we're going to have out of this cow, and maybe she doesn't always have. She's only had a few heifer calves altogether. A lot of the time she has a bull calf, so I'm going to keep this heifer calf as a replacement, just because she's out of this cow. She's a very quiet cow, very good temperament. And she's the kind of cow when you go out to the field and you call them if you want to move them, she's the one that comes running and they all follow her. She's the leader of the pack. So yeah, lovely cow. She's 2 horns there. This one on the right is starting to grow in a bit. Now it's not I was just inspecting it earlier on. It's not touching her face yet, but a little bit of growth over the coming months when she gets outside, and it may be. So we may have to take a few inches off it before she gets out. Yeah, all very good. Bit messy. This cow, she was bedded at the same time as the rest of them here, but a little bit messy. So she's been walking around in circles, her and the calf. So we'll give her a fresh bed in the morning. This one here is the last calf that was born. This was born this evening. So Seminole cow. She's a bought-in cow, and she has a very, very nice calf, also out of the Charolais. I'm not going to go into her now. She's not really that she's flighty, but she's a bit nervous, as is the one here beside me, just behind me. We'll see her in a second. But yeah, lovely calf as well. And as I say, also everything that's been born so far is out of the Charolais. We're up to 11 calves born. Actually, we lost 1, and it was out of the Charolais as well. So 12 altogether have been born out of the Charolais. And we're starting to think that maybe there might be 20 out of the Charolais, this infertile Charolais. So something serious has went wrong with both the scanning and our fertility guy. So anyway, this calf was born this morning. Another lovely Charolais calf, bull calf, and also doing very well. This girl she's not just as old as the other blue. These are blue shorthorns, so they're a little bit unusual. They're a very old breed. So yeah, she's fairly quiet when she's out, but just at the minute with the new calf, she's a little bit on the nervous side. So I'll just give her a wee bit of meal. Just let her settle down, because she starts digging the straw. And finally, we'll have a little look at the calf that was born a number of days ago. He's still here. We've kept him here. This is the one who had the leg that wouldn't straighten up, if you remember. Now, I've had a lot of messages at the time telling me that calf's legs broke. The calf will never do. He's never going to heal up. The humane thing would be to put him down, somebody said. So I've had all sorts of messages. So let's get him to stand up and see how he's doing. Come on, gonna get up. Take your time. He's been running around the pen over the last number of days, and as you can see, he's just having a little stretch. As you can see, he is walking fine. Leg every day is getting that little bit stronger. The last couple of days especially, it has gotten very strong. He's been running around the pen, what you like to see the calves doing. He's been doing that. So very happy with how he's progressing. I knew it wasn't only ligaments. It's just the way he was lying in the cow. The ligament hadn't stretched yet, and now it has stretched around the proper way, and everything is as it should be. So very happy with how he is doing. Yeah, so that is the calves. So as I say, 11 alive at the moment, and There's another few very close to calving, so we're keeping a tight eye on those. The few cows that we have that's out on the out farm, hopefully we'll get them home tomorrow. That's one of the jobs we have on tomorrow, is to try and get them home. We think got rid of another few beef cattle over the last number of days, and we should be able to double up a pen to make space for the cows and get them back home. So yeah, that'll be great to have them back in the yard, because actually this girl here, she was on the out farm when she calved, so it's just, it would leave it a lot easier for checking them, especially if checking them late at night if they were all in the one yard. So yeah, that's it. Tomorrow, as I say, most likely doing some work on the 6-9 and getting these cows home if we're not blown away and washed away by this latest storm. So that's it. Until tomorrow, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell for notifications, and yeah, as I say, we'll have another video up tomorrow, Saturday. We will see you then.